Hi, Kat. How you doing? All right. As your writing indicated, where is it? Right here. First thing you said, is it too busy? If you think it's too busy, if you have some current concerns about your design being too busy, it probably is. And I think this is a perfect example. Yes, it is. It's too busy. There's too much visual. There's just too much visual impetus here. And we want the viewer to concentrate on a couple of different fabricated meanings. And I think the important thing is to make this connection between the tiger stripes and Rudyard Kipling. Okay, so and making that connection, I think, is reduced by the amount of other visual attributes that you've assigned to the composition and as well as the typography. Okay, so what I would do from here, and let me run this by you and see what your thoughts are. So what I would recommend is I would just remove the gradient from the type. I think the gradient's just adding too much visual impetus here. There's too much visually. There's a lot going on. Just use that nice yellow, and just let's leave that yellow and black for the tiger stripes. The next thing is that offset, where you duplicated the type, placed it in black, placed it behind and offset it. It's too much. It's just too much. I would remove that as well. And then I would also remove the same effect that you have on the tagline. You've got a lot of visual vibration going on. I think that the relationship between the color of the type here and the green background, it's really jarring. It's almost aggressive. And I'm not real sure if that's what you're going for. I would tone that down. That's a fully saturated, highly vibrant parent hue that I think is really fighting, really battling it out with the type itself, almost saying, look at me first. And this is saying, no, look at me first. Did you see what I'm saying? So these two are fighting it out. And I think if we reduce that competition by experimenting with different background colors, I think it's just really going to draw a lot more meaning to the typography and the associated effects and typographic effects that you've included in Rudyard Kipling. The next thing I would recommend is reducing this. Right now, this is really large, and I would just reduce it a little bit. Keep it left aligned, but watch my cursor. Maybe something like this. To really let that negative space have a nice presence in the composition. This is left aligned, right? We can clearly see that here. That's left aligned, and that's great, but the tagline is right aligned. Additionally, the ampersand is not in alignment with the O and so we want to get that. I'm pointing that out just for your edification. However, I am going to suggest something. I think it's an uncomfortable visual tension happening with the combination of left aligned for the large type and right aligned for the smaller type. So we get this negative space right here is kind of competing, like this negative space here and this negative space here are drawing attention to themselves, and it's kind of creating this subconscious ping-ponging back and forth right here with that open space and this open space. The mind gets confused. Why is this left aligned? Why is this right aligned? A couple of easy fixes here. One thing you can do is take the whole text block, bring it over here, left align it, or you can keep it to the right side of the composition. Just take the first line and left align it. That's going to create your spaces both on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side of the type, creating some consistency in that negative space, reducing this kind of uncomfortable visual tension associated with the left-aligned title and the right-aligned subhead. Again, this background, black background, I would remove it. I don't think it's working at all. This is a poster, right? One thing we know about posters is they're going to be viewed from a distance. If we take this and kind of mimic the idea of looking at a poster in the distance, now we can kind of start seeing what's happening here. And we can see how that gradient is just really starting to affect the readability. And also that background offset black text. And then this is really almost not readable. And that's based on a combination of that black background and the white foreground text. So my recommendation is to really work with color here. Try to establish, white might just be fine. It depends. Use the background color, but I highly recommend removing those background kind of dimensional type effects. Okay, so that's where I'm at. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, of course, you know I'm here. All right, thanks, Kat.